Good afternoon, boys and girls, and welcome to the mess hall here at Dr. Jet Laboratories. Not too long ago, I talked about this little cheap tugboat from China and whether or not I'll make it into a rescue boat for my little microboats. But along that same line, and in fact, during that same time period, I ordered this. Now, let's talk about this before I open it up and do a product review. From time to time, I cruise through eBay looking for radio-controlled model boats, looking for something interesting. I've bought one or two things there. You know, most of the time it's just that cheap toy grade stuff from China, and every now and then there's something that somebody built 150 years ago that looks like crap. So for the most part, it's not really productive. But from time to time, there's something interesting. Well, somebody had this boat for sale, and it appeared unused, but it could have been used once or twice. And he wanted $125 for it, and there was probably another, $30 in shipping it somewhere. So, it was reasonably priced, under $200. And I got to looking at it, and I'm thinking, geez, I've already got enough boats. And I showed it to Big B, and Big B said, there's a lot of the mini Dom in there, and I don't know if you're familiar with the mini Dom from Oxidine, or it's the same thing as the Scored from Tenshock, and it's a little V-hull and I believe it's 17 inches, and they race them in Asia, and I think they might even race them in Europe. And I guess there's classes for the Oxidine one here in the States. So anyway, I'm going through there and I'm looking at this this ready-to-run boat, and I'm thinking, it looks pretty nice, but I just wasn't going to pull the trigger on it, And then I got to researching, and it says, well, I've never seen that. It looks like a quality product. I mean, it's got all the right ingredients. Who makes it? Where is it from? Well, long story short, I finally find it on Banggood. It's the M450. What did they call that? That description, and then there's the color. So anyway, boys and girls, get a load of this. Now, I paid $121 and change for this thing, and 2% shipping insurance, and I'm glad I bought that shipping insurance. And so the shipping insurance was like $2. It's like, okay, if I'm going to spend $100, I'll give you 2%. So this is what I got. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is what you can get for $125. Okay, today, since I bought this thing a month ago. Shipping's been a nightmare. I bought it a month ago, and since then they've raised the price. What you're going to see behind here is now $133. But that said, let's see what you get for $133. You get the M450 Cobra. Now, get a load of this. I'll tell you where they cut corners to save money. They cut corners with the hull material. The hull, as soon as I can get this piece of plastic off of it, maybe it'll slide off this way. It's a one-way piece of foam. It goes on this way, goes out that way. The hull appears to be styrene plastic. But what do you get? Excuse me, folks. I have bronchitis. What do you get with styrene plastic? You get smooth surfaces and sharp edges. These things are sharp. Now let's look at this hull design. This is very much the mini Dom or the Scored. The only difference is this has a recovery step on it too. So I'm thinking this is going to jump out of the water. And what do we have here? We have air vents here. We have a big hole here. And we have air vents here. Now, just between you and I, this little one right here, this little one right here, I'm going to go in with a X-Acto blade and clean that opening up so air can get in there. And I think I'll do the same thing with this. Clean that up with an X-Acto blade. Now let's look at the running hardware. We have a straight shaft wire drive, the same thing that's in the Scored and the Mini Dom. We have one of those CNC aluminum props. We have one of these ever so common anodized aluminum rudders that's on everything. We even have the turn fin vertical, just like on the Mini Dom. And I think that was done for ease of reasons. And let's look inside. Same little step in the flood chamber as the Scored and the Mini Dom. Same exact layout. The battery up against this step. A straight shaft with a wire drive. A little fairly high kV motor. I think this thing's set to run on 3S, so the kV was around 3,000 to 3,500. I'd have to go back and look at my notes. You know, nice hardware. It's, you know, the nice motor mount adapter, nice motor mount, everything well designed. Stress risers to spread the load here for the motor mount. It's just a really nicely done project. It's got all the right ingredients to go really fast. Be self-righting. It's small enough to run at Santee. What I'm holding here in my hands, boys and girls, is fast and cheap. You know, nice tape down hatch, nothing complicated. Away you go. Add your receiver and your battery, and you've got a decent boat that's cheap. And what makes it cheap is the hull material. And so it also makes it easily replaceable. Apparently these people, DTRC, who make this, and I believe they're somehow associated with Toucan Hobbies. That may be the T in DTRC. Maybe Toucan Hobbies is somehow associated with this. So there you go, boys and girls. A quick review of the DTRC M450 Cobra racing hull. Overall, I give it very high standards. Very high standards indeed. Until next time, Jet out. Okay, boys and girls, Jet is back, and just a little addendum to today's review. After cleaning up the boat here, I want to go over a couple of interesting things. We'll go through all the parts. It's a nice metal geared mini servo held in place with a nice, looks like an anodized aluminum bar, and where they cut corners and save costs is a molded in servo mount. Okay, on to the, well, let's see what we can see here. Let's go up the drive shaft here, and you will see a very nice anodized aluminum motor coupling shaft adapter with a, looks like a 2mm wire drive. There's a ball bearing at the propeller end. I'm thinking there's a ball bearing somewhere up here in this end. Aluminum motor mount, and like I said earlier, attached to the hull with some load spreaders here. This water cooling jacket, in some of the earlier ones I saw, were engraved boat gangs. Now, I thought I'd see that here. I didn't. It's a, okay, so let's look around here to the other side. And we have a 40 amp. Hello. A 40 amp. Whose is, oh, a Sea King 40. Decent speed control. Sea King 40. I like the Sea King 120s. Nice battery tray layout, and just like the mini DOMs laid out like that. And so there you go, just a post update. I took off all those toy grade stickers. Let me zoom you out. I took off all those toy grade stickers for a number of reasons. One of them was upside down, and the ones that were so close to the tape line here were going to be a problem, putting tape on and off. Now here's something interesting I noticed. This is molded green styrene right here. This is vacuum formed white styrene painted green. It's got a painted hatch to match, and a very close match it is. But now, this sucker, this looks like a legitimate race boat, even though it's technically a toy grade styrene boat. So there you go, boys and girls. An interesting review of an interesting product. This would make a great little club racer for people just getting into it. This thing's gonna go like stink. The mini DOM goes like stink. This thing is just gonna be just like it, only smaller. Self-riding, what more could you ask for? So this little sucker, I just don't see them sold here in the American market in any quantities. I see so many of the other toy grade stuff, but this I really like. This has potential. It's basically a race boat with a throwaway hull. Until next time, jet out.